Welcome to Inland Empire Alive, bringing you issues, events, and perspectives from throughout San Bernardino and Riverside counties. I'm David Brady, and on today's show you'll meet the remarkable Elisa Perales, a recent graduate at Crafton Hills College in Yucaipa at just 11 years old, and her biggest supporter, her dad, Rafael. That's today on Inland Empire Alive. Well, I'm so pleased to interview my next guest, one of the youngest college graduates in California history, Elisa Perales, and her biggest supporter, her dad, Rafael. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So I guess we should say right up the bat, you recently graduated at 11 years old from Yucaipa's Crafton Hills College with 2 associate's degrees. And that, again, puts you in a very, very rare class. Talk to me about how this happened. Dad, how did you notice she was so precocious?
Well, just to make a quick point, she would have had 4 degrees actually if she had stayed one more semester, one more in computer science and one in physics. But I mean, I had seen from the time she was very young, and others noticed as well, you know, how precocious she was. And of course, reading it in her 2s and doing multiplication, division, everything in 4 and 3. And she's just very, very advanced and had no problem. She enjoyed learning. I tried to make it as fun as possible.
Did it come easy to you? I've read things where you said it was hard. There were challenges in taking some of these courses.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't hard. Like, and to me, it's just like there wasn't any difficulty. Like whatever subject it was, I would get around it.
Were there particular subjects that appealed to you more than others, like reading versus math versus, like, I'm terrible in math and science, but I love to read. I love anything to do with words or vocabulary.
So what was your question?
Oh, were there particular subjects that you found more interesting?
The astronomy class I took, which was a summer class, which, yeah, so that was really interesting. I would say that's probably one of my top 3 most interesting, but I'd say probably number 1, it would probably be Physics 1, probably.
Wow. And what was it like being in class with these, I mean, college students are adults. You know, they're asking, you know, sophisticated questions, they're rowdy. I mean, did you ever feel intimidated, you know, putting your hand up and speaking up or, you know, contributing in class?
Absolutely not, no. But every time that I had a question, I would just raise my hand if I had a question. And it seems like even a lot of college students are too afraid to ask questions because like they would feel embarrassed or something like that. Like, oh, I have a question, I don't understand it, but I don't really care. And like, so I just ask whenever I have a question.
Tell me about the sacrifices you made as a parent to devote your time to educating your daughter. I mean, it was substantial. Like you said, I believe did she graduate from high school at 8 or start high school at 8?
She finished homeschooling at 8 she completed her high school requirements at 8 years old, yeah. There were a lot of sacrifices. I had to stop practicing law, and of course, social life became fairly non-existent. And like I said, I work a 5 to 9, not a 9 to 5. It's from 5 in the morning till 9 at night, helping her progress and go to college and get to soccer and
well, like we were just saying, I mean, you're making meals, you're packing lunches, you're doing all the things that a parent does. You're not literally just hitting the books.
Right, it's everything. And so it's a very, very involved, I would say double full-time, clearly.
I've read that you wanted to give Elisa a bit of a break when this first started, and you had a bit of an escape valve. Talk to me about the trips you would make to Disneyland as a bit of a reward.
Yeah, that was, I think, one of the key things is to keep it fun, keep her happy, and really feeling a lot of love and you know, comfortability. So we were doing 6 days a week in school at first, and then when she turned 4, we took one of those days out and made it Disneyland Day. So we would be at the Metro depot there in downtown San Bernardino at 5:50 in the morning sometimes to catch the bus to Disneyland, and she had no problem. She'd jump right up, we'd be ready to go. So yeah, I wanted to keep it so that she felt that there was a reward for all this hard work, and every week we were at Disneyland.
Well, I read that you, even though you were having fun at Disneyland, you still found a way to kind of learn from it. You were sort of studying the kind of industrial engineering concepts and how they were staffing certain rides and how they were kind of allocating labor. I mean, are you always sort of scanning and studying and looking at your environment and thinking how things could be better?
Sorta, like when I go to Disneyland sometimes, like so, I don't know why, but sometimes I think of like physics and stuff. Like I think like there's always like math and physics and all this type of stuff around me. Like even when we're walking and stuff like that, there's always like what do you call it, like friction and motion and inertia.
Oh, you would be surprised how much. I worked for Disney for a long time, and how much thought goes into, like, not just the engineering, the physics, as you say, but just the sense of place, the music, the trash can, the paint colors. Tell me about what's next. So you graduated from with associate's degrees, and now I understand you're going on to UC Riverside. So what are you going to be studying?
I'm pretty much just gonna be studying the same thing probably, but probably just taking more computer science class that I did here at Crafton. So I think I'm gonna get more in depth to like AI, animation, stuff like that. And then probably after I'm done, probably just doing a little tech related startup company with my dad, or something else. I mean, there's lots of options about like after that, so I'm not really too sure where the road's gonna end.
We will have much more with Elisa Perales and her dad Rafael right after these messages.
Kids across America are going to school hungry every day. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
Well, I'm talking with Elisa Perales and her dad, Rafael. Elisa recently made history as the 11-year-old graduate of Crafton Hills College in Yucaipa. Do you have an idea for what you want to do for a job? Do you have a job in mind? Would you ever see yourself teaching or sort of paying it forward?
I see myself going to space with my dad. That's that's what I've always wanted for a long time, and I was hoping maybe to like go to Mars or something like that, and like possibly like if there's like people that are hired to maybe possibly build even houses there for someday. Like
I'd have to go if she wanted me to, because I'd have to try to protect her from.
Well, that's an interesting question. I mean, you've been in this unique role where, you know, she's been a minor through all these things, and eventually she'll turn 18 and she may want to leave the nest. Do you imagine that's going to be a more painful separation because you've had all this closeness and you've been such a presence in her life?
Oh, it is what it is. I mean, if that's the way it goes, and that's the way it goes, I'm sure everybody deals with that, you know, parents.
I found that to be one of the most painful parts of being a parent, when they grow up and they don't need you anymore.
Well, on the other hand, I don't want to constrain her in any way. I never have. I let Elisa, I give her free range. I mean, whatever she thinks is the best thing to do, I let her do it, because she's proven herself. And until given reason otherwise, I'm going to continue to do that and give her just full license to manage her life and continue with the good work she's doing.
Well, I know people, of course, always want to ask, what do you do for fun? And so I'm going to ask, you know, what are the things that you do when you're not studying, when you're not learning? I know you play soccer, Roblox. What are some other things you do with friends and your free time?
I ride my electric scooter, and like a lot of times we play dolls too with my friends that live like on the next street over and stuff like that. I mean, we're still kids. We just play in the dirt. We build, we build little forts with little sticks and stuff like that sometimes too. So.
Do people treat you oddly? Do they think, oh, she can't possibly hold a conversation with me because, you know, we're not the same age, or, you know, we're the same age, but she knows so much more than me?
No, not really. They treat me like a normal kid. I mean, I've told, I think, almost all my friends about that. So, and they still treat me like a normal kid, they're a friend or whatever. We just still play around.
How did you get along with your professors at college? And I understand you had a couple that really took you under your wing and kind of mentored you.
It was just like basically like if I like I don't know how to explain it. So it was normally like where when I'm first beginning the class, like the professor just like is a little shocked at first. So and then I think like at some time we just start talking and stuff, and we get to know each other a little more, and then we just kind of get along.
What will you look back on as the favorite part of her childhood?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. Favorite part, I mean, there's lots of highlights. It's very different than when my son was her age. He's grown now. Now it's video camera. I try to record a lot of things now. I didn't have the capability to record so many things, but now with video cameras on your phone, it's just so easy to record. There's lots of memories. It's difficult to nail down one particular favorite. We have probably 20 favorite times during the day. I mean, we talk about a lot. Homeschooling, you're right there with the one-on-one interaction. Every single thing that comes up, whether it's on the news or whether it's something that happened with her friends, between friends, we talk about it. So there's many bits of wisdom that I try to pass on to her throughout the day, and it's just an everyday thing. So it's just so numerous to try to nail down one favorite, but every day I would just have to say every day's favorite. It's very different now with the homeschooling and one-on-one attention.
One thing I thought was interesting, I know you've gotten a fair amount of backlash, the whole let kids be kids argument.
Yeah.
And what I think is interesting, people don't tend to say that about Tiger Woods' dad. They don't say that about Serena Williams' dad. And yet we know both of those gentlemen devoted huge amounts of time and energy to mold those kids into world-class athletes. It's curious to me that they don't make those same comments about kids that become world-class scholars. How did you deal with that sort of let kids be kids?
I would just say that they don't have all the information because she is still a kid. What other kids get to go to Disneyland every week? What other kids get to have their parents there having fun with them all the time, taking them to play with their friends or taking them to the ball pit when she's very young, or as she grows older, to soccer games all the time. I was her coach for many years, so the involvement level is even greater. She's really got her dad helping her to be a kid times 10. So yeah, I'd say that it's kind of a perception issue.
And Alisa, what's next for you this summer? Any plans for summer vacation?
I plan on going to Lake Powell. Is that in Utah?
It's in Utah.
Yeah,
Arizona.
Utah. It's like at the border. Is that airplane, do you think? Yeah. So hopefully going like a jet skiing or fishing.
Be careful. We've got patents, we've got inventions. The world is counting on you for great things. Well, Alisa, Rafael, it was such a pleasure to meet you both. Again, I wish you all the best. I look forward to great things from you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, by the way.
That's my pleasure.
Visit iealive.com.